Well, it's a lazy afternoon. I can't do much today. My arm is bothering me a lot, but I still got things to do. Um, I replaced about a week ago. About a week ago, I replaced one of the camper's hold downs, and I bought a set. I got a mess over here. And these are the ones that go on the side of the truck. And I replaced this one in the rear. It looks like it's over a foot long. This one here looks like it's 10 inches or so. So the one on the other side is rusty. So I'm going to replace this one. Very rusty. And possibly the one in the front there too has got a lot of rust. Even though it's working good. Now, hey boy. My dog's out there looking at me saying, who are you talking to? Now, these hold downs supposed to have a spring in them, and the new ones don't. I'm not sure about the old ones. I think they do. So I'm going to replace the one in the rear. The ones in the front I'm probably going to leave there for now, because it comes with a very long screw. I mean, look at this thing. That's about 24 inches. So, that's the old one that I cut. I'm going to use it as a measuring piece. So let me see if I can get this thing. Get the blade. I got it here. And let's see. More or less getting there. Okay, and you cut against the bolt, and then if there's any burr or any bent on the thread, you can rectify that by moving the bolt in and out a little bit, back it out, and that'll fix it. If it's bent and you won't be able to fit it, you're gonna have more problems working it. So this is a little easier to do. Bingo. And now you back it out and pyramid type file, and I just touch it up a little bit and get the edge off. Bingo, that's it. Okay. So now, I had a friend that he used to live here most of his life. And 26 years ago, he moved to Florida. And he came to visit. Funny, we took pictures. I never took a video. But he took pictures of, we took a picture of him, and we had a party for him. We roasted a pork. And we did he went to Vegas, you know, he did the thing. And then he took a trip with his cousin back to the old town, and I wanted to go, but I never heard about it until it was after. And he went back to the town he lived, and he went to his old home, and they were standing in front of his old house taking pictures. And the lady that lives there now, she came out and she said, "Can I help you?" You know, really serious. And they said, "No, we used to live here, and we just came to visit and take a picture." And the lady said, "Are you the orange tree people?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, you want to come in?" So what it is that his father, he did a graph, I think that's what it's called, on a citric tree. I don't know if it was lemon or orange or whatever, but that tree produces lemon, tangerine, oranges, and lime. And the people there are looking at this tree and they can't believe it. They're freaking out. Say, "How can this tree put all this up?" Because his father did that. So now they met him, and they were so, you know, amazed about it, that tree was at the property when they bought it. They're getting all these different things out of it, you know. And he also went to the high school. And I said, "Man, I wanted to go, you know." We went to the same high school at the same time. So they're walking around the hallways, and some professor comes up and he sees these two old guys with gray hair. And he said, "What are you guys doing?" And he goes, "No, this is my alma mater. I used to come here." He goes, "Oh, what class?" And he goes, "Class of 74 or 75, something like that." Oh, coffee. Suena. Thank you. No decaf? Oh. So I get a delivery of coffee, so it goes perfect with my cigar. So then he showed him the class ring and the whole thing. And he goes, "Whoa, you guys are way back." They were older than the professor. And so he did that. And the next step was to go to Redondo Beach, but he never made it. There's a lot of places to visit. He never made it, so he didn't go. But I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna make a video about it. We used to spend when we ditch, which I didn't ditch that much, maybe once or twice, but these other guys were ditching a lot. They would go to Redondo Beach with a bunch of girls and have a ball. And Redondo Beach has a pier with restaurants and stuff. And My cousin, little thing like this, 110, 115 pounds. Now, so imagine back then she was 90 or 80. She would die for quarters. So, and this is high. This is pretty high. So there was a guy that go, okay, you're gonna die for me. He goes, yeah. Okay, so he would chuck a quarter, and she would just go plunge, and she was doing pretty good, diving in there. And we had a ball uh, in those days. And I haven't been back there in years. But it was a weekend thing all the time. We used to go all the time. And I met this American girl. I met this girl, and she tells me, "Oh yeah, that beach is for foreigners." And for foreigners, she said, and I'm going, "Foreigners?" And I said, "I've never seen any foreigners." We were the foreigners. I'm thinking, French, Japanese, or something like that. No, we were the foreigners. So, anyways, back then there wasn't this tension, this racial tension that these stupid socialists are putting into the kids' heads. We used to go to parties of different people. I used to go to black parties. Nobody bothered me. Drive around Pasadena, we see a house that's happening, lights are going on, music's going on. We walk right in. Some people took a look and just turned around and kept talking. And we went in, and people, it was a mix. I remember there used to be this black club called The Name of the Game. And it had a bishop. No, wait. A chess piece, it was the horse on the sign. And it was all black. You would go in there, have a drink. Because way out of the airport, I would drive down, listen to some music, And back then, we're talking Temptations, we're talking. In fact, I grew up on the music. So it was fine, man. We had a good time. There were no problems. But now, everything is a war. And I don't understand why people are getting on each other's nerves like that. It's because of these racists teaching people that. That's what it is. Okay, let's see if we can get the other one out. Wow. It's like a heart. Almost. old in with the new. I want to see if I can go out to the desert and do a little bit of winter camping before the snow melts. There we go. Gonna go in there and tighten it up. Okay, so for now, that's good right there. And then you come in with the other one and tighten it. Okay. So there it is. Brand new one. So it's just to support it. Okay, so that's in. I should have put that hook towards the inside like I did the other one. I don't think really it's a difference. It doesn't really matter. The base, you see how it is separate like that? And this one here, not so much, but it pulled it down a little bit. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna drill another hole because it's only connected by two holes, two bolts. I'm gonna run another hole and then put a bolt through and put a lug nut, you know, and tighten it. Maybe the one with the plastic in it, sleeve, so it doesn't vibrate out or anything. But the issue is, how am I gonna drill something that thick, pushing up? I got a heavy duty Makita, so I came up with this MacGyver. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my jack right here with a long lever, and going to place the jack underneath. And the reason I have it there, because now it's level. One tire over here, one other tire on the other side, both are level and it's straight. So I'm going to place the jack underneath. I'm going to get a 1x or a 4x4, place it on the jack, crank it up close enough, then put the drill on top of the wood, crank it up so I can push that drill bit. It has to be 5/8. I'm gonna get a real big lug there. 5/8. This is a 1/4 inch, and this is not big enough. But I'm gonna get something that long, maybe something like this. This is good. So this is 1/2 inch. I'm gonna go a little bit over that and run the drill on auto. And with the help of my wife, I hold the drill in position. She'll push down on the bar a little bit and forcibly get that drill, push it up there, and drill the 3 holes. Then I can run that bolt run it through, washer and everything else. Actually, I'm not gonna get a washer. I'm gonna get a plate, big, and run it through and tighten it underneath, and that'll take care of that problem. So that's another project that I need to do. And then the following project is the roof. I gotta find that leak and seal it. So let me sit down here and take a break. That's my project for the day. No, I've been doing some other stuff. Um, oh my God, I gotta fix this garage. It's a mess. So I had a viewer tell me that he enjoyed my chat. I want to thank him. I think his name was Jason or something. I gotta find it. Check it out. I found this ashtray for cigars, $2 in a Goodwill store. I go there a lot and I take a lot of stuff too. We're taking clothing and furnishing. And I had a sofa, black leather sofa with what they call the love seat, the white one. 7-foot sofa. I call my nephew and I say, hey, come over and I'll give it to you. Come pick it up. And I had it here in the garage. 2 weeks later, he doesn't show up. And I call him up again. Oh, yeah, I want to go. Never showed up. I got tired of waiting, so I loaded up on the truck and took it to Goodwill. Somebody enjoyed it. And then when he called me, hey, I'm coming over. And I said, listen, I already gave it away, but let me see if the store still has it. Let's see what they're going to ask for. You can get it for, $40, maybe $80. Still, it's good. Went over there, gone. Somebody snatched it because it was a good sofa. It had no holes or anything. So I do go to Goodwill, and I also went and bought a shirt, beautiful shirt, man. I could bring it out, but I'm not going to. It's kind of a silky material. It's golden, $7. You gotta take advantage, Jeans, work jeans, $7. So I told a friend of mine, a mechanic, and he says, yeah, I go there too, and I pick up jeans because I'm working on boats and I get greasy, I get dirty. So you're not gonna spend $50 on a pair of jeans or more to work on a vehicle. So that's the way to do it. I was watching this movie last night. It's called The Bridge. It's a war movie. It's called The Bridge of Remagen, something like that. And the story is, and this is a true story. Story is that the trains, the Germans were trapped and they wanted to cross the river to their country, and the Americans would try to bomb it and they couldn't hit it. But the thing is that if it finally exploded because they put some explosives and it didn't collapse, but a few weeks later it did collapse. But my point is this: I was noticing that in the movie, everybody is migrating from the other side. So the German army is coming in, struggling, some vehicles, some wounded people, wounded soldiers. But most of the people crossing the bridge were civilians. And I say, well, wait a minute. If these are Germans, what are they doing outside of Germany? So it's to make it look more busy that they were really running away from the Americans and the British and all that. And I said, wait a minute, but if you're gonna have the story, get your facts straight. Germany is on the other side of the river. What are you doing coming from? I think it was France. I said, well, all these Germans were living in France. What's going on? So I caught him on a little lie there. It's just a little Hollywood thing. And there's a lot of things that I pick up that they're not right, and there's some words that they just throw around, not knowing what they mean. So, in Florida, they got the space shuttle sitting on on a key or on the coast, and they call it Cape Canaveral. Canaveral. And I'm going Canaveral, so I wrote it down. Canaveral. And the thing is that it's not an English word, it's a Spanish word. All it needs is a little flat line on top of the end, and that makes it Cape Cañaveral. That means sugar cane fields. But we don't say sugar cane. When we say caña, it means cane, and we know automatically it's a sugar cane. I kept hearing this Cape Canaveral and said, "What a weird name! What is that?" Well, it's because they don't pronounce the enya or the n with the line. So that little line alone would change the whole meaning of the word, because Canaveral doesn't mean anything in any language, except you put the line on top, and then it's cañaveral, 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 with the little flat line. Another words that you hear a lot in the westerns, and they still use it in some modern films, is the word gringo. Gringo doesn't mean anything in Spanish. The Mexicans, oh, gringo, gringo, gringo. But what you know what gringo means is that it's an English word. When General Pershings, I think it was Pershings, they called them blackjack Pershing, blackjack. One of those two. They went into Mexico after Pancho Villa, because Pancho Villa raided some fort in New Mexico, and they stole some guns, and I think they stole money in the bank. I'm not sure about the whole story, but they did raid the United States. So they went across the border, and they were all dressed in green khakis. So the Mexicans didn't want them there. So they found out, how do we tell them to get out? Well, green, go. Simple as that. They were just telling the American soldiers, get the hell out of my country. So the only way, since they didn't speak any English to tell them, they came up with that word in English so the Americans can understand. So as the uniform is green, it's gold. They call them green, go. Go back. They should have finished it with go back instead of just go. So that's where the word gringo comes from. And there is a movie with Robert Mitchum that he was a Texan working for the Mexican government, or the Federal is one of those, and they ask him in Texas, they ask him what is gringo, and he said, oh, gringo, like a very disparaging word, like a filthy or something like that. Did they know what the hell they were talking about? It wasn't a disparaging word. It was a word to tell you, get out of here. So that's where gringo comes from. And there's a lot of stuff that, like rodeo or rodeo, right? In Beverly Hills is rodeo, and in the country here is rodeo. Rodeo is, you know what it is, the horses and the bulls and all that. Well, rodeo means the arena, which is arena. Arena means sand. So the rodeo is a circle where they fight the bulls in the Roman times. And the arena is the sand, arena. So that's another word that they kind of toss around, and they don't know the actual meaning of what it is. The same thing with when you fly solo. You're doing a solo flight. Well, that means that you're flying alone, because that's what solo means, alone. And all these words in Spanish are kind of mixed with the language, and the language, it's taking its own different meaning. It's changing the language. So I'm thinking maybe in 200 years from now, half of the words are going to be mixed with some other languages. It's not going to be the British English or the King's English. So there's a lot of words like that they just throw around, especially in the movie industries. These guys don't know diddly squat. Remember when they used to do movies that the hitman or the mafia or something was going to shoot somebody, and they use a silencer on a revolver. So the revolver has the cylinder with the bullets, and there's a gap between the barrel and the cylinder, and when the bullet goes through there, it makes noise. The noise comes out of there too. And in the movies, they make it sound like they go, psh, psh, you know. It's a revolver. It's not a pistol. If you use it on a semi-auto gun, a 45 with or a 9 millimeter, and you put a silencer, okay, now you have a silenced gun, but not a revolver. And they did a bunch of movies like that, and I'm laughing because they're ignorant. They don't do the research. You know, same thing with the same thing with the assault weapon. The assault weapon this and the assault weapon that. What do you mean an assault? That's something that somebody in Germany back in the war, Hitler, one of those generals, who knows who, came up with that, assault weapon, because they did come up with this machine gun that shot some caliber that's not in use anymore, I think. And then the Russians did their own AK-47, and they call it an assault weapon. Well, it's a machine gun. You could assault somebody with a hammer, with a machete, with a knife, with a brick. It's not an assault weapon, but now it's the assault weapon. So right now they're putting this emphasis on super. It's a super dangerous weapon because you could get assaulted with it. And those are the things that people that don't know, they swallow this stuff, and they make it sound more serious. The only full auto weapons are the ones in the military. It's not sold legally in the stores. It hasn't been since the 30s because of the Al Capone and the other guys were buying those the Thompson machine gun with the round clip that hold 50 rounds, and they would shoot, and they would really spray bullets. So when the government saw that, they said, okay, we need to stop it, and they put a law against buying full auto machine guns. Okay, and that law is the whole country, including Alaska and Hawaii and all that. So there are some states that allow you to buy them if you have a special license registered with the federal government, FBI, and all that. You have to put your address, your name, your fingerprints, everything. So you're allowed to buy that gun, and it takes months, up to a year. You have to do a background check, make sure you had never been a criminal, you committed any crimes, and never been in jail, that kind of stuff. Those are the ones that are called full auto. But they're putting this extra name on it, assault, which means nothing. So there's a lot of words. There's a few more that don't come to mind right now. There's a lot more words that they got hijacked and turned around. I heard that the knife, the K-bar or the Kabar, used by the Marines. I don't know if they still use it. They used it in the Second World War. That name came out because, and this is just hearsay. I didn't research it. I'm not going to say this is 100%. But I heard that somebody that couldn't pronounce, that came up with his name, Kill Bear or Kill Bear. It's a bear killer knife. Kill Bear, Kabar, or kind of slang kind of thing, hillbilly kind of thing, and they came up with a Kabar name, and it stuck. Also, the word Arizona. Arizona, it's not English, it's Spanish, and what it was is when the Spaniards were going through Arizona, which is a very dry state, it got named. I'm not saying that the conquistadors or anybody came in and said this is Arizona, but eventually the name got applied to that area, which means arid zone, dry zone, arid zona, arid. So they took the D off, and now it's Arizona. Arizona, but not arid zona. Zona means zone, area, and arid means dry, super dry. Uh, long time ago, I was trying to hook up this girl with a friend of mine, and she said he's got an arid personality, and I'm going, whoa, that is killing this poor guy. He's got an arid personality. Somebody would turn around and say, oh no, he's not from Arizona. So, and in fact, I got a neighbor here that she's from Arizona, and I told the story, and she goes, "Oh, I didn't know that." I go, "Yeah, there's a lot of stuff people don't know." So another word that is mispronounced is Montana. Montana. If you put the little line again over the end, it's Spanish and it's montaña. Montaña means mountain. That's why the state of Montana got named because of the mountains. But when the French came by, they were, I call them the horny bastards. They called it the Grand Tetons because it's the gray hooters or the big hooters. So everybody gives it a different name, according to your condition. So all these names that they're in Spanish and they're mixed in with the Anglo with the English language. It it gives it a flair kind of thing because this country was discovered or not discovered, but this country was um, explored by different peoples from Europe. There's a lot of Indian names also. All these names that you hear, you know, like Miami and Wichita and Oneida, and all those are Indian names from the certain regions. You know, um, there's a lot of mountain ranges named after Indians in areas. You know, um, there's a spot in Arizona called Apache Junction because of the Apaches. So it's a mixture of different languages from different peoples, and it makes it interesting. It makes it um, yeah, it makes it interesting. It gives it a flair. But anyways, uh, I am in the process of making a decision to consolidate my equipment here. I'm thinking on selling my rig and substitute it with a toy hauler trailer that I can pull with my Avalanche, which is also a four-wheel drive, and I can put my quad inside the toy hauler, have it parked here in my driveway. By then, I would have got rid of the Blazer and the jet ski that I'm not using anymore, and that way I have more room in the garage, less vehicles in the driveway, and whenever we're going to go camping, I just hook it and take it. If we're not going to be using the quad, I can unload it, park it here on the ground inside the garage. I don't need this trailer, so I could sell the trailer also. I'm thinking of doing that. The only thing is uh, that some of these places I go, they're deep in rough roads, and sometimes I find myself back there by myself. But I got my setup. I got the camper with all the goodies, you know, and I got two heaters, all the food I want, throw some guns in there and do a little shooting if I want to. If I'm going to do that with a trailer, I can go in deep with the quad, but then that means I have to come back. And that could be 8 to 10 miles, maybe more. So I'm tossing it around. I've had this camper already a good 8 years, I think, maybe more, and it runs good. It runs. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I'm trying to consolidate and getting rid of some stuff. I might even get rid of the the G, the G35. I'm thinking about it. It's up in the air. I get attached to things. I've had that Blazer for the longest time, and it's come my birthday, January 26th. That's what it says on the paperwork. I'm not saying that it was built there at that time or finished at that time, but it's got the license, the the registration has it on that date. So yeah, that's what's going on. So okay, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I still got some things to do um, tomorrow, and hopefully by then my arm will be in better condition. This cold, it's acting up on me, and it doesn't let me sleep too well. So we'll see. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.